consumption and ride comfort.
Supplying you with brand name tires like Maxxis, Kumo, Good Ride,
Westlake,
and Triangle.
Boom! Enjoy the VIP style customer waiting lounge with refreshments and free Wi-Fi. You know what I'm saying, yo? This is Skinny Fabulous, and when it comes to tires, nobody makes it easier than OT. Boom! Got me on the road. When me OT car tire.
Follow OT Tire on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter today.
Hey, boom! Run the road with OT tires.
WEFM, the new fresh sound.
WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
At the time we're in SVG, it is 8:41, well, close to 8:41, and we are back with you for another segment of our Activated Mornings program. And at this time, we are conducting an interview with Delroy, Fireman, I can't see the rest. I did a horrible job, didn't I?
You get in there. But yeah, it takes a long time to get there because every year I add on.
You add on. I realized that you added on Miss Hooper's son.
The electric fence.
Right.
That means you must keep off.
Okay.
Well.
Okay.
My question really was geared at that. Miss Hooper's son, you know, and it may be maybe considered the least consequential of all the names, but I consider it important. And that's why I asked that question. I don't know if you could go on.
All right, so just remind us of what the question is.
Well, listeners, I was asking him about his rural upbringing, his links to North Windward and the whole of the Windward side and its rural context, where one of the places where he lives now, the Grenadines and his impact on Easterville and so forth like that. But more so, his brother developing kidney failure, his mother having to go away, and him in the early days, his earnings, and so really, albeit small, going towards the helping of his brother and his mother, Miss Hooper, and that him being Miss Hooper's son. So I wanted just to ask him a little about that context.
Well, I'm always been a great family guy. You understand? I love my mother 100%. My family tree runs like this. My mom, my brothers and sisters, my children, you know this, and my wife. That's how the tree runs, right? So my mom is always first in everything. So I always look out for what is best for my mom, and then using my mom's name within all the other names is to add more respect. Right? I can't be saying all these things and being the ruler without having a mom and treating your mom with respect at all times. And not just for me, I want everybody in St. Vincent and the Grenadines to know that you must always pay respect to your parents, because some of us doesn't have a mom anymore, some of us doesn't have a dad anymore, but whichever parent, you understand, and is a way of spreading love, because love starts with you, right? And if you notice, I've been emphasizing on the word discipline, right? And all my discipline and my upbringing and loving everybody come from my mom. She always tell me to have respect for everybody, but especially old people, right? And I have a saying since I'm growing up. Everybody make me Fireman, why you always talking to everybody? But you have to realize, whether it's a vagrant, somebody there, or whoever they're working, everybody have something to say, right? So I don't know everything. So in order for me to get across to certain things, I have to listen to people. And that's where the blending with the love and everybody loving Fireman and the upbringing, like from a poor family, right? All my mother had to offer, she was rich in giving us, instill discipline in us. So I have that discipline, whereas everybody seems to be my brother and sister. You understand? That's the love that I have. And that's what going around St. Vincent and the Grenadines is why everybody loves fire. Right? And it just can get out of me like that. Sometimes I just get up and I go to Mesco and sit down, reason with some people, find out what is what. Then I go to Kelboni, then I go to South Rivers.
You really had your rule of the land.
Yes. So, and when they see me, sometimes I have nothing to give them but love. And that is just me, right?
Okay.
The word hate never really built up in me. You understand? I just all about love, right? Whether you hate me or not, I still love you. And that's fine.
Talking about that same thing, how do you deal with persons? I don't know if people would boldly come up to you and say, Fire, I think you should done with this thing. Or they would boldly come up to you and tell you they think you didn't deserve to win this or you didn't deserve to win that. But I'm sure you've heard the talk. So how do you deal with things like that when you hear it? Or if the persons actually come up to you and say it to your face, how do you deal with that?
Well, it's tough walking on the street, especially in the streets of Kingston. Like if I'm leaving by the hospital to go, let me say South River Road, it will take me about hour and a half because everybody wants to say something.
Right.
The same thing. Fireman, me think you should left that to you, that something like that. But like I'm always calm. The approach is always calm because you're gonna meet that, right? And I'm gonna tell you something. If you want to be out front, right, and you don't want to face these kind of challenges, understand me? Don't be a leader. You understand? It happens. It happens to our prime minister as well. Like he always faces these, but that's once you want to be a leader, you have to expect these things. Somebody's gonna come and approach you, but it doesn't mean that like someone, Fireman, me not like you, but he doesn't even know me. All he know how to sing. So then I don't have to respond to him.
So nobody ever catch on your off day because nobody ever catch on an off day?
Like we mean
Like you just let go.
Like your vex.
No, I still try to handle it, you understand me, in a professional way.
Okay.
Because it always turns out to be bad for you. As in, I say, oh, but at least Fire should have known better.
Oh,
So
right,
then-
yeah.
Yes, so
Yeah.
any wrong things that I say, right, is going to create a negative impact on me and not that person who is acting ignorant and arrogant.
Good.
So I have to be careful. There's a thin line between love and hate.
But
So I have
Fireman,
to
let me
know.
ask you. You've just, correct me if I'm your fourth triple, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's third or fourth triple.
Oh, the Soca Monarch.
Crowns?
So
How many
come on.
crowns? How many crowns do you have?
Well, I have 19 crowns in total.
It's 19?
Yes, but 14 Soca Monarch, that in Raga, that in road matches. And so
I didn't realize there
this
was so
year,
many.
Yes. Okay. Do you think, extending on that, do you believe that there should be term limits with that particular type of performance?
That as a politician, be careful when you talk term limits.
Yes.
You understand me?
Fire.
I only went in for one term, but the people want me, they calling me back.
Yes.
Right? And
Yes.
anytime I try to leave, they calling me back.
Yes.
This is not a fireman. Like, everybody been talking about Soca Monarch. I only study Soca Monarch on the night of Soca Monarch.
Yeah.
And my team was been around me for all these years.
Yes.
Miss Finley and Andy and all these guys. Because it's one team I have all these years.
Yeah.
Right? The people who are dancing for me today, because Avenue Dancers has been my dance group over the years. Their mother and father already danced for me. So you have to understand the generational fireman hooper. So the people who are trying to challenge me, because I don't compete against anyone, people compete against me. I'm the ruler, I don't compete. People compete against me. So what I'm doing now, right? Whenever I go to Soca Monarch, the things that bothers me most is what am I going to do for them to see on that particular night, because I've been there so long.
What difference can you bring?
Different can I bring,
Yeah.
right? I light myself fire 2 times, buy casket for nails, like I tell you, cry volcano, do all kind of crazy things, right? And whenever I go to the stadium, right, is to make the people go home feeling satisfied. It's not about this Soca Monarch, because the people who come in to compete against me, right, even if I'm not the winner, they want to be fireman. It's kind of crazy. Yeah. So let me say one year Mr. Doyle win, Skinny win, and people still come into the stadium to beat me, but I'm not the defending champion.
Yeah.
Right? And you have to be so strong, because when When I win, I'm still the same person. When I lose, I go back. You understand me? I realize I did something wrong and I have to go back, right? Because one thing I know for sure, I started this thing in 1999, a winner, and I'm going to leave a winner. And I have a lot more years to win. I'm not saying I'll be competing every year,
Right.
but I'm going to leave Soca Monarch a winner.
Well, I want to come back on this again because there has been, we had Sufre, COVID, burial, all those things that one might have affected. This carnival seemed to be important. And Soca Monarch, what impact do you think that, I know we're going to talk about the collaboration, but your song this year with Skinny, what impact do you think that had on Soca Monarch itself? You see, in Trinidad, Soca Monarch phased out, not there. Why basically did it have such an impact this year?
Well, me and Skinny has been rivals for years, right? But me and Skinny never had any cuss and fight, nothing like that.
Well, as a matter of fact, you know, Skinny's mother is from Chateau,
right? Skinny's from Chateau, problem from Tumukami, from Pito, so it's all down.
Bomani, Rosa,
everybody's down there,
yes,
on that side, yes. So, and I think before this, the Soca Monarch crown ever got to is Arnesville Fountain, which is Madzat.
Okay.
It never go past. Well, it get to Georgetown now because I'm living in Georgetown, but I'm from North Leeward.
Yes.
Okay.
So, all the rivalry people see all the time. But over the years, Skinny stayed out like 6 years now, and all the other guys just stopped competing. So then I was holding the show, right, to make sure that we still have Soca Monarch going on, and which is.
So that's one of the reasons why you continue to compete. To bring persons. Okay.
It wasn't about
all
just
right.
like winning Soca Monarch.
All right.
It was like I tell you, I do carnival, and you know, mass. The meaning of mass is adverb, adjective, a noun, a pronoun. Yes, mass are everything. So that is mass. So when Skinny called me and tell me he have an idea and if we could sit down and put a song together, I was rushing off to England, right? I had a show in Barbados in March 24th, and I have to reach to England by the 26th. So I went to the studio and did my verse, right? And all the other little pieces, and leave it for him to do his verse where he want to continue. And that's it. But me and Skinny never sit down together, putting this song together.
Really?
No.
Was it planned to enter Soca Monarch with it? Was that every plan, or just to have a song for Carnival?
No, I call him and tell him we need, well, Soca Monarch make all of us.
Yeah.
So I call him and I tell him, man, I think we need to build back the show that make all of us who we are, which is Soca Monarch. And I say it will be a nice look if we can get the stadium back up to that capacity and make our carnival look, because now everything's streaming, everything is online, and we want to show the rest of the world this is our show. This be, and then see you think about it. What he's thinking about it, I just give him 1 minute to think.
Okay.
Yes. So I say, man, we have to go to the stadium. I had a word with Luther, I had a word with James. I tell him, I need you all back in the stadium to make. If anybody's supposed to stay out the stadium, it have to be Fireman, because I've been there the longest. Like, so if I decide to take a break, gosh, give me a break. But Vincent Shan won't. So I'm still there.
People ask where you walk, where fire.
So it was keeping it, and I called Skinny and decided, bam. So I say, well, let me make it real impactful, right? Let me bring out the best of us. So people really came to the stadium, seeing two rivals for over the years coming. Come on. It's the ruler and the general, right? So that was it basically.
But then what do you say to the comments before the competition and after the competition, where we expect a monarch to just be an individual, not two persons wearing the same crown? What have been your thoughts with regards to that?
The media, I don't do media except for like radio whenever I have an interview, but I don't do Instagram, Facebook, and I have people doing these things, so I'm not distracted. Right,
Okay.
so somebody will tell me whatever they say on the media. But I don't know how deep my people has been reading into things, but we have Dimes and Picks been singing for years. Last year we had KTB and somebody. So why you put them in the competition if they cannot win?
But then in
You
this
understand?
case, though,
if they're not going to win the competition, why you have a duo? You
but
understand?
in this
So-
case, they are established duos, right? You and Skinny were not an established duo. So that is
No.
where the difference is.
No, but it doesn't have anything written in office
Okay.
state that we can't be a duo tomorrow or today, right? So then once you do a song together, whether with whom, I don't know, like what you have to do with, let me say, a Bajan doing it with me, because we never had that kind of thing. But once you have it, because they had that little controversial thing when Skinny them did Family, and they had to twist it up a kind of way because Skinny was Vincent and Bunty was Trinidad then. But Trinidad fixed it because they know it was a good song, right?
But that was road match, not Soko Monarch.
Right, but competition is competition.
Okay.
Yes, so a road match is a competition too. So I didn't see anything wrong with it, right? I think it was good for marketing, right? Good for keep lifting back the face of Soca Monarch. And the thing that I'm very, very skeptical of is all the people who want to see me out of the competition, right? I want to know how the competition will look, right? If I am no longer a part of it.
Okay, so let me ask another question before. There's two questions though, out of what you just said. What is going to be happening next year? Has further consideration been given or further thought been given in terms of how the crown is going to be defended? Are we going to be looking for another performance, a collaboration from both of you as defending monarchs? Or could one enter without the other? Has any thought been given to that as yet? Or
No,
too
not
early?
really. Well,
Too early.
The thing is, music is not a fly-by-night thing. So it doesn't mean our creativity this year is gonna be next year, right? Who's gonna call who if that's the case? And I don't know if Doyle, I accustomed calling him Doyle. And yes, and he called me Ruler. So I don't know.
Okay.
Yes, I don't know if Mr. Doyle is gonna call me on a collab again, or if I'm gonna call him on a collab. I don't know if he want to participate in the Monarch again. I don't know if I want to participate in the Monarch again. Like I said, I don't study Soca Monarch. All these years, I don't study Soca Monarch. I just do it when it comes. So sometime up to the last week of Soca Monarch, that is when but we just be making preparation just in case I tell my team, okay, yes. So I don't study Soca Monarch. It's not like how everybody does be gravitating to Soca Monarch like the other people who compete. No, I don't study. I don't talk about Soca Monarch at all.
Okay.
Yes, I go and I win Soca Monarch. That's what I'm supposed to do. Yes, but I don't go around discussing Soca Monarch every day. So I don't know what Doyle have planned, right? We're not thinking about that. But let me just hope that when next year comes and the competition is there, let me see what happens.
But you don't, because both of you won, don't you have to be in the competition next year?
There's no law that states that inside the rulings of the CDC.
That you have to defend
you have
it.
to
Probably
defend.
you don't have to defend it necessarily.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is no written nothing about defending. But like I said, I've been doing Vinci Mass, right? And I'm not doing competition. But whenever there's a competition, right, I have the right to participate as a Vincentian.
Okay. Yeah, you had a question back?
No, go
Okay.
ahead.
All right. So you made a statement a while ago about how the competition would look if you stay out. Does that actually concern you though? In that we did recognize that over the years, the Soca Monarch attendance was dwindling, right? And yes, as you correctly said, that the audience, it was packed this year. And I think because you and Skinny performed, persons knew you were performing, that it attracted more persons. But isn't it slightly a concern to you that if you stay out, that the Soca Monarch competition would not be as impacting to others? does that continue? Because it kind of speaks to maybe the current artists that we have. Maybe they're not doing enough, let's say, to attract the audience. So how do you feel if you have to stay out?
Well, I don't want to hurt anybody. That's first. And that's one of the things that really have me in Sokomona up to today's date. I don't want to see the show that, you understand me, make carnival over the past few years, right? I don't want to hurt my people, right? And
So
I can just make this statement. There's a few elderly persons who come to Sokomona over the past years. They're probably about 78, 79 now. And they still come to Sokomona. They just come to see Fireman perform.
Well, Fireman,
It touched me
Yeah.
to move and leave certain people,
yes,
right? And leave the competition, like, from my end. Other people have to do their end, right? I'm not saying, me alone is competition. If you understand, everybody have to bring their pieces and make sure. But I am there still protecting the competition.
Well, Fireman, on a note, all the different contestants have some element of support,
Right.
and people
Well, I just said it.
people come to support them.
Yeah.
But that's that question I have. Your fan base in the Leeward side, in the Windward side, in the Grenadines, and also in Kingstown, that essentially pulls. I mean, there should be no denial that a substantial amount of persons from North Leeward, in particular, from Central Leeward, from Baga and so forth, come up, and of course from Georgetown, because you're there. And if you're not there, the question is, are all these people still going to come, or just some of them come? What's your impression? Do you think you decide to stay out for a couple of years? Do you think those individuals are inspired to still come in the numbers that they have been?
Well, I've been hearing it on the streets, like, Fire, if you now go, the full dialect of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Fire, if you now go, we now go. Right? You hear that? And I don't want to, like, be tooting my own horn and saying, I got to take advantage of that. Like, if that was supposed to be, I could already do it, right? There are some dark pieces to it, things that I can say, but you don't want to say it. The competition itself, if the CDC can get more help to help us, if we can get more help to help ourselves, I think the competition can survive in that way.
And by help, you mean monetary assistance so that you can put off a more grand performance for the night? That's what you mean?
Well, that is part of it.
Okay.
You understand? Like, it's so hard to get, like, I know in Trinidad and Barbados, even dancers, right? Here we get children dancing. When I say children, people of age, 15, 16, 17, because, they have to grow into the culture. In Trinidad, you get big women dancing and big men. Here you have, if you call somebody to do a little shot for you to put on the projector screens, then they're shy, or maybe she say, her boyfriend, on the night, her boyfriend says she can't go on stage again. You have some kind of challenges you meet. Yes, that's why every year I've been focusing on the same set of people and groom them so that every year you can have this going on, because, like, if you go to the mastheads, you meet the pregnant ladies stitching down the thing with the contact cement, and the baby lying on the floor and some little blanket. These are the dark sides of carnival that people don't know, right? Or somebody cooking some white rice and some sausage over there, and then for you to be on a radio or someplace or corner and say, we have to them. No, they put in all this work. So all this thing plays on my mind, and who is gonna do it next, and what? Yes, it is very dark.
Okay.
In terms of, you understand? Now I've been running around, carnival finished. You gotta make sure everybody get their 50 cents. Whoever participated in this, that, because soon you leave the country and then you can't wait until you get that prize money to pay them. You have to find some money to pay them and get rid of it. A whole heap of things to go in place, right? But what I would like is everybody to participate in whichever way. So, like, if you can hold the same pregnant lady baby for 2 hours for she to just go and make her little money at the masthead, that's a plus. That's contributing to the festival as well. You understand? If you can cook a piece of food and carry it down there for somebody who's doing it. You understand? So people think carnival is just wind up in the street and go to a fete someplace.
And as what you're saying there, unfortunately, it's not just the people in the country who view carnival in that way. It's some of the artists as well. You know, all this is that singing part, they're not fully involved in the culture. They're not taking the entire culture into context, just that.
Right, because I do the monkey mask, and the monkey mask is from our side, and we had to do the monkey mask. So then, you know, sometimes they only all about the stage and wanted to be on stage. Sometimes they're not even prepare for stage, right?
Correct.
And I tell you, we need to start to teach, right? We are knocking some piece of the syllabus and put our culture in it, because it is fading, because they want to do everything commercialized now, and then we're losing that natural aspect of the culture. And if we don't fix it, I tell you, we'll only importing mass from overseas, and then Blondie them can get the stuff selling, because that's how the thing going.
Players and all of them, the traditional
things. So then it's a lot of things, but we have to sit down, and the CDC alone cannot do it. Eh? We need other people. Like I've been saying, we need a minister of culture, not a minister of somebody and culture.
Interesting point.
It doesn't have to be somebody who win a seat in government, you know, but we need a minister of culture to just deal with the cultural aspect of things, because culture is in everything. Culture is in when you're going into office, when every hotel open, every hotel night, some part of culture, whether boom drum, whether girls dancing, culture, whether we need somebody to look out for culture, because culture in itself can create its own income, right? So you go in for $5-7 million to build a bridge. I understand that one. But why you can look for $5 million to us and put it there for us, so we can get to dip into something whenever we want it and create our own shows to stock up that $5 million
and to push the art forms or whatever.
So I think I am pushing. We need a minister for it. We need culture have its own ministry, not somebody who is busy with that and have to deal with that and so on. That's what I think we really. Yes, you want to talk about this, you know.
Interesting. I mean,
he the right person to pass on your message.
I have to listen to you. I mean, to me, I've seen tourism go along very closely with culture.
No, but tourism is so big. Tourism is so big and so wide.
But you see,
so then the now minister of tourism, which is my minister, Minister James, isn't it?
Yeah,
and he's the minister of culture as well.
Yes. Well, you say he's your minister. What do you mean by that?
He's from North
For rep, his rep.
I'm living in 18 years in Georgetown,
wait.
And I still vote in North Leeward. So
wait.
Well, he's my minister. He's from North Leeward. I'm from North Leeward.
What's okay? You voted for him?
Yes.
Wow, that's a revelation. That's a revelation.
No, that is.
What kind of revelation is that?
But guess what? He voted for me too, you know. He said, put it that way.
Well, I voted for you too.
Yeah.
But it's not all. You don't have to question my vote. I know who I vote for.
Yeah, but
there's nothing wrong with him saying who he voted for either. So yeah.
But what about? Are you getting down now in terms of culture and politics and so forth?
All right. You know what?
Have you found?
You could stay here till 9:20 because we over this time here. Yeah. Jules, you in a hurry?
No, I'm not in a hurry, you know. But whenever you call me for interviews, you know, your ad's supposed to push back. Jules know that, and all these other people know that. I'm the ruler, and I'm not supposed to take the time.
Well, here, what, right? You are the ruler, but I have an immediate boss, right? And my immediate boss did not give me directions. Jules did not give me directions, all right?
Tell him to call.
Well, until Jules call, then we take a break, and then we will come back at 9:20, all right? All right.